What's up, gamers? DreamcastGuy here, and today we're talking about the revival of Tango Gameworks because this topic is just, honestly, it's confusing because it seems impossible. So a couple months back, Xbox announced some closures. They had bought some studios back in 2021, and they decided to shut a bunch of them down. Now, I made multiple videos about this because, to be honest, I was pissed. And the main studio that I was so mad about and the internet was so mad about was the closure of Tango, because not only did they make The Evil Within and Ghostwire Tokyo and Hi-Fi Rush, but it was also the fact that Tango was a good studio that kept getting better. They were a company, a team of creatives that clearly cared about making games that were not just good, but are actually unique. Well, they're back. Tango is being purchased and retroactively revived, and I'm so excited, but so is the whole internet. Everybody's kind of just thinking, how could we even have this? But I want to break it down because I'm going to consider this to be an Xbox W, but let me explain why. Hi, hope you're having a great day, and if you could please give this video a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Now, I just want to start this off and say, this is actually real. I've looked into it, and it just seems completely impossible, to be honest. But here it is. Tango Gameworks has been taken over and revived by the PlayerUnknown Battleground publisher of Krafton. Now, PUBG obviously is one of the biggest games on the planet. It's one of the best, first real mainstream battle royales other than Fortnite. I mean, the game is monumentally successful even today. They made billions and billions of dollars, and a lot of people have said, what is Krafton doing now? Because a lot of stuff they've been involved with, this is a Korean publisher, and obviously they made most of their money from this, but they have been putting out other projects here and there. I am excited about this company specifically buying them because hopefully that means they're going to be hands-off. A lot of times if a company like this that's extremely flush buys somebody that's kind of quirky and unique, fingers crossed, the idea is that hopefully they'll be very hands-off and let them be as quirky as possible. But a lot of the replies are people just saying, this is fantastic, because it's bringing over the actual people of the studio itself. How is this possible? This is I love all the people freaking out, other than this one idiot who says this is bad IP. This guy is clearly a fool. But when you look at this, I can't believe I'm actually reading an article from Xbox Era, but it says, Krafton is buying Tango Gameworks from Xbox. Now, before anything else, the first line of this is why I'm going to consider this to be an Xbox W. Today, we're welcoming the talented people of Tango Gameworks to the team, marking an exciting moment in the company's global expansion and its first significant investment in the Japanese video game market. This strategic move will include the rights of Tango Gameworks' Hi-Fi Rush. Now, this is the thing. The talented people of Tango Gameworks to the team. That means this is actually them buying the studio. The main reason I was so mad and that so many people were so incredibly bitterly freaking pissed off when they closed Tango or announced the closure of Tango is the fact that they're fantastic. They were people that actually made stuff that was colorful and unique and fun. Purely freaking fun. Even their horror games, I will die on this hill. The Evil Within one, and especially The Evil Within 2, which I think might be one of the best horror hidden gems of all time. These games have such a ridiculous amount of love in them, and you could tell that every part of it, these developers cared about the project. Every line of code, every fiber, every piece of art, it truly felt beautifully experimental. The fact that they're actually buying this entirely is so fantastic. But the reason I consider this to be a bit of an Xbox W is because, yeah, it sucks that Xbox tried to close it down, but a lot of companies, especially a lot of American companies, when they shut stuff down, a lot of times they fire everybody and they just do it as like a tax write-off. I mean, think about the amount of movies that have been made completely, they just get used as a tax write-off. Like the fact that Cartoon Network is gone and the Wile E. Coyote movie is gone and the Batgirl movie is gone. Completely done movies are being written off for taxes. I was afraid that part of the reason they shut these studios down was so they could just delete them as part of a tax write-off. The fact that Xbox is actually saying, yeah, it's possible to buy all of it, here you go, buy all of it, including all the employee contracts, that's fantastic. Now, this is, in my opinion, I think this is an auto-translated statement because it has some typos and stuff like that. They basically say, yes, Hi-Fi Rush won a bunch of awards. It sounds like the primary thing they're interested in is a Hi-Fi Rush sequel, maybe some Hi-Fi Rush spin-offs, but they do kind of say there will be no impact on the existing game catalog for The Evil Within 2, Ghostwire, and Hi-Fi Rush. It sounds like what they're saying is like, if you're playing this on Game Pass, if you're playing this on Steam, it will still exist there. It's not like because it's changing publishers, it automatically gets unbought or like whatever. But I'm excited about this because one of my favorite games of all time is The Evil Within, and already I have had a lot of tweets. The second this news broke, literally the second this news broke, I had people tweeting me saying, is it possible for The Evil Within to come back? And I guess that's the real question. Another Hi-Fi Rush is top-notch. I mean, I'm excited for another Hi-Fi Rush, but I was always curious to see an Evil Within 3 style of game because that universe, that story, those monsters, the things they were trying to do with it were incredibly good. I'm almost curious to see what they do with the studio and with the intellectual property, because this is one of those times where a company with billions of dollars in the bank, and honestly, not a lot going on, I wonder if they're going to actually have a team that makes a weird Hi-Fi Rush spinoff that's like more quirky and more actiony than they do one that's even more focused on rhythm. And then they get a team of developers, hopefully with the original creators still attached, to do stuff with an Evil Within 3. Give me more Ghostwire Tokyo. Like, I know a lot of people didn't like Ghostwire Tokyo, but I really like that game. And I do feel like if it had more time in the oven, it would have come out even better. This is so wild to me because it just doesn't seem like something that would ever happen in a million years. But it did. And that rocks so freaking hard. Like, what a wild piece of Sunday night news. But what do you guys think about this? Are you as blown away by this as I am? Because it just, man, what a weird timeline to be living in. But if you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and please keep dreaming. Man, I was literally sitting here chugging my disgusting protein water and sitting here being like, man, when's Tango coming back? And the universe manifested it. Thanks so much for watching that video. If you want to see something else, you can always click this link to see what I put up last, or, subscribe and see what's coming up next. Also, I promise that whatever I do, it'll try not to suck.